Tonight on the podcast, we're talking about potential Sandman Season 2, Joss Whedon Xmen, Black Adam trailer, oops, James Bond video game news. We're reviewing She-Hulk, and I guess the first 3 episodes of Andor, if you survived the nap during that. So let's hit that music. It is Friday night in Phoenix, and you're locked into the podcast that's sinking faster than the Titanic, the Absolute Geek Podcast. I'm Matt.
I am Lance.
I'm Max.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
How?
This is Max's final night with us.
Yeah, that's
Max is jumping ship.
He needs to recuperate after his sex change tomorrow.
yeah, this will
I told you, dude, that's still not going to make us a couple.
Oh, it'll change. Once I shave off this burly beard, get some titties going, you're going to be all about
The titties have been there, dude.
Hey, man, I've been getting rid of them all year. They're pretty much gone now.
You do not have to pay for those. They those were natural. All natural. Man, the chat blew up like fucking quick.
Yeah, they did.
Dude, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me today. I'm so hyper right now.
You are. It's a good thing, man. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I need to run a mile.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, I was just validating what Matt said. This is my last official AGP host anyway. Time on the podcast. I'm sure I'll be on every now and again to
maybe
chat with you guys. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe
we're taking a straw poll. It's not looking good. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Sticks. I'm sorry, man. I just my wife started working throughout the week, and I can't do it anymore, unfortunately. But it's been fun. It's been fun, and I'm happy to be here to talk about Andor, the not boring show, the wonderful Star Wars show. We will talk about a boring show, though. Shulky is boring. So
Joe's Doolin says Max is going back on the road as a Rainn Wilson lookalike tour.
I like that.
I'll be right back, guys.
Sounds good. I like that.
Hartman says, and now you can masturbate freely.
Yeah.
Max or Lance left already.
Yeah, you said it's a sinking ship, so
I know, right?
Yeah.
The show got instantly exciting now that Lance is gone. Just go ahead and make it even better and just permanently remove him.
Yeah, man, it's been a good week though. Nothing to report. We just, work, and like I said, my wife's working 3 nights a week now, so pretty much I get to tuck him in because she doesn't get home till about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, and it's I don't know, nothing exciting to report for this week. I loved watching Rings of Power, loved watching Andor. That was like my highlight of the week. Anything interesting in your life, Matt?
No, my life's pretty boring.
No,
super boring. Yep.
Super boring.
Super
8
boring.
month or 9 months old now? She 9 months now?
8.
Okay.
She'll be 9 on the 13th of October.
Okay.
But
what up?
What are we G thanks baby for? I don't,
because you said your life is boring.
Oh well, I mean, it pretty much is. I live a
boring doesn't
little
mean
life
bad.
In a boring little house. I work a boring little job. I drive a boring little car.
What's your car?
Just keep it boring. I just keep it on that radar of boring. That's all.
What is your boring car?
I drive a Toyota Camry.
Oh yeah, that's pretty boring.
Hey man, I drive a Honda CR-V, and then our backup car is a Civic. They're pretty boring cars too. Which your brother-in-law today, Lance, offered to buy my Civic because he wants a beater car, and I'm like, Yeah, I'd love to make a few $1,000s off you real quick, but I need that second car. So no, not for sale.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have boring cars. I don't feel like I have boring cars. I don't know.
Just because they're German doesn't mean they're cool.
My Chevy
Hartman
is
says,
not German.
I drive a DeLorean. Hartman, for some reason, I
There
get
you
the
go.
feeling
That's
you
a cool car.
You drive a bike, and when I say bike, I mean bicycle, not actual bike. You drive a bicycle.
Have you guys seen the new electric DeLorean?
No, I haven't.
Dude, it looks fucking sweet. It looks fucking awesome. It's like very modernized, but it has the wing doors and oh dude, it's fucking cool. I put myself up on the list to learn more information because you can only purchase them by invite only.
Stickboy, it will not be a 2-man going forward. It shall still continue to be here, and we are looking for Max's replacement. So we will see what happens with all that. But yeah, it will not be a 2-man going forward. So
yeah, Matt needs somebody to like mellow me out. Like I'm too much. I'm just me for Matt. It's too much. He can't handle me. So we need a second person on here that can kind of take some of the trauma that I cause. That's what I'm dealing with. So 2 girls, 1 cup. The poop is fake. Is the poop fake in 2 girls, 1 cup? I don't care, dude. It still is gross.
Pardon me. So that's what I'm dealing with. I'm so sorry that fake poo is like your world destroying moment.
It ruins that disturbing video for you. Yeah.
Have you ever seen it, Max?
No, I have not, and I don't need
to.
to.
Yeah, don't. Just save yourself that torture.
Yeah.
My eyes were basically raped by it. My friend said, "Hey, check this out," and didn't tell me what it was, and pulls it up. I'm like, "What the?"
What kind of a friend wants to show? Well, that's not true. Guys love showing each other gross things. That's our thing,
dude. But how, dude? You know better than anyone. I have a poop phobia.
Yes, I do.
Right. Jesus,
I have a poop phobia. I can't do it. Is it for real, Hartman? Fake? Is it chocolate ice cream?
Why do you care?
It's pretty nasty. Well, because this has traumatized me for 20 years, dude, or however long that video came out. Okay. I think that's where my poop phobia comes from. 2 girls, 1 cup.
All right. Well, on that note, let's get into some geek news because Jesus' show is already off the rails. Because Lord knows somebody wants to join this cast because we talk about poop fetishes.
Poop phobia. Phobia.
Hey, yeah. I didn't see anybody leave the live stream, okay? So I think
I think Hartman is.
No, he just lost subs. That's all.
Hartman is digging in. So you guys want to talk about the first bit of geek news?
We've lost 2 subs since you decided to talk about your 2 girls, 1 cup phobia.
First bit of news. Neil Gaiman has this to say on why we have not heard from Netflix on a Sandman renewal. Sandman season 1 dropped August 5th. The data harvesting has only just finished and is complicated by a lot of people not binge watching it, which I binge watched it, but spreading it out, letting episodes sink in before watching the next, telling Netflix to hurry up won't make decisions happen faster. So he thinks that because people are watching an episode, digesting it, and then digging into the new episode is the reason like Netflix is still essentially unsure of the renewal. No one's binge watching this show, which I did. Matt, you did, correct?
No, I didn't binge watch it. I did exactly what Neil Gaiman said. I watched it kind of episodically, a little bit here, a little bit there. I didn't binge it all.
I think I finished it in 2 days.
Nice.
I got hooked by like the 2nd or 3rd episode, and
yes, Joe's dueling. He basically said, "Shut up."
Yeah, I don't know. It's a great show.
I got hooked by the diner episode, and then the death episode kind of really fucked me up emotionally. So then I kind of took a break for a little bit, and then went back and finished it. But
yeah,
yeah. I mean, I didn't. It was not a show that I could binge watch. I think there's so much to unpack there that I'm not surprised if people are doing that. But I don't know. I think by saying people were unpacking the episodes is a nice way of saying it dropped during a whole bunch of other shit, so people were watching other things.
What else dropped at that same time?
I can't remember what all came out at that same time. I feel like when this hit, there was so much.
You're right. I
that
feel like
came
there
out.
was. I still haven't watched it yet. I feel like I was watching other stuff that came out at the same time. And I want to watch this. I just haven't gotten around to it.
It's visually one of the most beautiful shows I've ever seen, ever. Like the way it's shot is very artistic. The performances are great. Like it's a beautiful show. But I worry that some of it might be too cerebral for general audiences.
It's a beautiful day.
You know what I mean? Like it definitely, you have to digest it a little bit.
So Prey came out that same weekend, and I know Prey was huge.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Bullet Train hit theaters. That's not like a huge thing though. So other than Prey, I don't know what would have.
I feel like there was another streaming. Didn't She-Hulk drop around the same time?
6
I
weeks
think
ago.
so.
That would make sense. 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Joe Dool said it lacks the emotional depth of She-Hulk. Yeah, probably. That's true.
Nothing says emotional depth like twerking. With what do you call it? A dummy trunk?
Dummy thick.
Dummy thick. That's what he said.
I wouldn't be surprised if it got renewed. I don't see why it wouldn't. It was a popular show. It's just I think Neil's just coming up with things of why it hasn't so far.
Netflix though has canceled shows, so you're like, why did they cancel that one?
Yeah, they do it all the time. They cancel stuff that people love.
Yeah.
I'm still mad about Santa Clarita Diet.
Oh yeah.
The show was so good.
Yeah. That one's probably, the first piece of evidence to point towards that. There's a lot.
There's a lot.
Quantum Kyle wants you to know that he's at homecoming now.
Nice.
Why are you watching this if you're at homecoming?
Enjoy, Lester.
I think that's code for he doesn't have a date.
Probably.
I
thought he's wallflowering it.
Do you guys remember Quantum's real name? Because it's not Kyle. He's told us before. Kyle's not his name.
It's not Kyle.
Yeah, and now I can't remember. Know. He said it one time, but I just know him as Kyle now, and so I can't think of any other name for
his date.
All right, Kyle. Now's your time. Tell us what's your real name.
Waits for their date at homecoming. You're supposed to pick her up and take her.
I'm pretty sure he's not even 16 yet. How long ago was it that we?
In a world where Uber exists,
he was 14 when we met him at. No, he's probably
Gen Z, man. It's just,
he's 17.
It's a different world out there, Matt. No. I'm with you. I picked the girl up, met the dad, got threatened with a shotgun.
I don't think you got threatened with a shotgun.
No, I didn't. But I do have a funny story.
I feel like Max walked up to somebody's door and like, you're going to the dance with this Teletubby.
I was skinny back in high school.
Jesus,
that was a fat joke. That wasn't.
We're only 13 minutes in, and he's already hit you with 2 fat jokes.
That wasn't a fat joke. That just
Teletubby sounds like a fat joke, but
no,
and I wasn't bald either. Well, I was balding, but I wasn't bald. I had a full head of hair. Just
so did you have Sticks says I didn't date till I was married. So you had an arranged marriage then, Sticks?
Yeah.
Shotgun wedding.
I know, seriously, I went for my senior prom to pick up the girl from her house, and the dad sat me down, and I think you guys all are fully aware that I'm Mormon. He pulled out the Book of Mormon and the Bible, sat me down while my date was getting ready, and he read verses to me about why I shouldn't have sex with this girl while we were out.
He probably he's like, listen, how much of a hard ass I am.
No, he was being serious.
I once scared a boy with a Bible.
He was being serious, and it's just funny because she and I were just friends. There wasn't any sexual tension there really. I was just like, I really like her. I'm going to take her out on a date and go to prom with her. And it was just so funny. We sat down and he's reading me scriptures from, the books. Thought it was funny. And we went out and had a fun time. We danced twerking wasn't a thing yet, so we didn't do that.
You drank your Kool-Aid, you shared a peanut butter parfait, you gave her a good old Christian side hug, and you went home.
Absolutely. I may have given her a butterfly kiss.
Oh, with the nose?
Yeah, well, with the eyelashes.
Oh, is that what it is? Eskimo kisses with the nose, huh?
Yeah.
That's right.
Joe's Doolin says, my daughter won't bring boys around because she knows I'll be cleaning the gun if she does. Meh. My daughter's only 8 months old, so I don't have to worry about that.
And then you might, well, then here's the fun thing, Joe. Like, if that's like a legit thing you would be doing, then you're going to have a kid come over, 17-year-old young man who like has a dad who's a gun enthusiast, and he's going to be like, hey, you're cleaning that wrong. And he's going to tell you how to do it better, or he's going to tell you what his favorite weapons are, why you should have a Glock instead of, whatever else. Like, maybe you'll find a really cool son-in-law in that moment.
That's funny.
She's here, nerds. Any words of wisdom? Yeah, don't be a fool. Wrap your tool.
And don't watch us anymore. Focus on her. Go have fun.
And your pullout game is probably weak, so make sure to keep it wrapped.
Oh.
That boy will beat the back of my hand. Yours is 21, yeah.
All right, next.
No condom Walmart bags work.
Yeah.
Don't follow that advice. Oh, Hartman. All right, what's next on the docket, Mr. Lance?
Don't use the condom you bought from the gas station bathroom. Make sure to get
the quarter machine.
The one that's been in your wallet for the last 15 years.
Oh, man. All right, next piece of news. Per Screen Geek, Joss Whedon and John Cassidy's astonishing X-Men will be used as the basis for the eventual reboot, meant as a course correction for the series after Grant Morrison's bleak new X-Men run. The title saw the team embrace being superheroes again, ditching black leather for colorful costumes. The roster was made up of Cyclops, Emma Frost, Wolverine, Beast, Shadowcat, and Colossus, while the series also introduced armor. The main focus was the team trying to stop an alien race from destroying Earth, along with the Danger Room coming to life to kill them and a mutant cure being revealed to the world. Sounds about right. I don't know. The article that I pulled this from also said that Joss Whedon probably would have been their pick to direct it if he wasn't going through so much turmoil right now.
Meh. I think the Joss Whedon run is just a way to get around the contract disputes, because you're not going to have, in Joss Whedon's run, they didn't have an Xavier. Xavier wasn't in it really, so you could have Wolverine because, Hugh Jackman's not in this contract dispute. Colossus isn't in it. Storm isn't in it. Iceman's not in it. So you got all of these characters that aren't, you have Psylocke, so you have all these characters that aren't embezzled in this contract dispute where they have to wait X amount of time. So it makes sense that they would try to get and launch this with an X-Men team that they can actually use versus waiting years.
A Colossus
X-Men without Xavier, like that just doesn't feel.
This was a really good run, though. Like,
not really.
No,
the Joss Whedon run really wasn't that great, and nobody's asking for this run. Like, you don't hear people screaming for this.
The article I didn't read this. I didn't read this run, but the article made it seem like it was a popular run. I thought what was the one that came out like a year or two ago? There was two sides. What the fuck was that book? I don't remember. Do you remember like 2 years ago there was like 2 X-Men comics running alongside of each other and they had very similar names?
Yeah, House of X and Powers of X.
That's what it was.
That wasn't Joss Whedon though.
No, I know that wasn't Joss Whedon, but that was a really successful run, wasn't it?
That was, yeah, because it was basically relaunching the X-Men titles. It was Jonathan Hickman basically relaunched and changed everything about the X-Men.
But with this, I mean, Cyclops is under that contract thing because Ty Sheridan played Cyclops.
Yeah, Cyclops is, but Storm isn't.
Storm was in Apocalypse.
Yeah, but that's it. That's not she's not under that contract. Your main contract, I believe, are your Jean Greys, your Cyclops, Basically,
Jeez.
anyone who was on the X-Men team moving forward, Storm was not part of that deal.
So I don't like this idea, but I will admit I also wasn't excited when Guardians of the Galaxy got announced. So maybe this is a good opportunity for like a 90s
Yes,
kid
James
like me.
Marsden was Cyclops, but he's not part of that deal.
Yeah.
The only people that the only ones of my understanding that fall under this deal where they can't be recast is like James McAvoy, anyone who was not in the original old school ones, so with the newer kids. So like First Class Forward.
Well, Storm was in Apocalypse,
but she's not one of the main X-Men. She was in there as one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. So she's not I don't believe she falls under that.
Well, and Colossus was in Deadpool, but they're more than likely probably going to bring him.
Deadpool is separate.
Yeah, they're more than
Deadpool
likely
doesn't
going to
count.
bring over that same actor, I would assume, if they're not rebooting Deadpool.
I mean, we'll see, but the point I was trying to make is like you're going to exclude the best X-Men, but maybe Marvel can do a good thing here. It's like Iron Man wasn't really a big character when they released his movie, and now he's one of their most bankable characters. So maybe this is a good opportunity to bring X-Men that aren't as popular to the forefront. Maybe that could make those of us who don't read the comics as much get excited about this.
Psylocke was also in Apocalypse.
Yeah,
Cyclops.
No, Psylocke.
Yeah. What the hell's her name? Olivia Munn. These 5, these are all pretty well-known characters, Max.
Yeah, but Cyclops wouldn't be in it. So Wolverine obviously is huge. Like that's great.
And
having
Beast.
Wolverine. Beast is big, but Beast I feel like would also be part of that contract issue. He was one of the main X-Men in the First Class and on run.
Beast is part of that contract.
You could get Shadowcat. Yeah, Colossus is a big one. Maybe
Emma Frost.
If Storm could be in there, that would be great. Like if Storm is not part of that contract, she's a big one. And obviously from like a diversity standpoint, she's another great character to have in there. Like, so yeah, Iceman maybe. Iceman wasn't in the newer ones as much, so maybe we could get him. So
I don't know. I just know that you really liked First Class, and First Class basically had a bunch of unknown characters in it as well.
Yeah, but it also had the ones that I'm familiar with.
But no Wolverine.
Wolverine, yeah, you're right. He wasn't in it very much. But you had Xavier, you had Magneto. Like
Wolverine
is
actually in First Class.
Yeah,
well, for a split second, isn't that where they asked him to team up?
If I was
cameo.
If I was going to rank my favorite X-Men, it's going to be Wolverine, Magneto, Xavier. Like those are probably my 3 favorites. Jean and the Cyclops. Like honestly, I really like Jubilee. I really want them to bring her into live action. I'm sure
they already did.
Yeah, she was in the Last Stand, but not really.
Well,
wasn't she in Deadpool?
No, she was also in. Wasn't she? I'm pretty sure she was in Dark Phoenix.
If she was, she didn't they didn't ever see like fireworks coming out of her hands. Or Gambit. Shoot, can we finally get Gambit? I guess that's another big name that hasn't been used that we should be able to get.
Gambit was in X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah, I know, but
you said from First Class. He's talking about from First Class.
And
from First Class on.
He was supposed to have his own movie with Channing Tatum playing him, or Channing Tatum, and that fell through. But
I have a feeling though that the Channing Tatum contract is probably in play somewhere.
Like, so Elliot Page does not have. I don't believe Elliot Page has that same clause in her contract. So Hartman, I don't think Cyclops is going to be female. I don't really think they're going to gender bend the X-Men too much.
No, because the whole thing with Cyclops is his relationship with Jean Grey. And would you gender bend Jean Grey?
No, you could just have them be a lesbian couple if they do that.
That'd be weird.
I mean, Jean would have to be bi unless Wolverine's also going to be a girl, because there's always a little bit of that like sexual tension between Wolverine and Jean.
Because the X-Men already have such strong female characters that they're not gonna gender bend. Yeah, they're not gonna gender bend a character just for the sole purpose of gender bending a character. And the diversity thing is built in with the X-Men. Like that's the whole thing with the X-Men. So it's like I don't see them gender bending Cyclops.
I could
Now,
see
like-
them doing different races, maybe like
Yeah,
a Mexican. Well, maybe not a Mexican Wolverine, but like you get a Mexican Cyclops or something. Or
Well, we're getting a British Wolverine.
well, we don't have anything official yet.
Well,
But
I'm
like
sure
the character would still be Canadian, I'm assuming,
Yeah, but
for Wolverine at least.
Taskmaster, then that's kind of whatever, man. Like, I think that's throwaway. That villain's kind of throwaway. Not in the comics, but like just in the movie wise, it's kind of throwaway. And Taskmaster's not as iconic as the X-Men. There's just so much diversity in the X-Men that I don't think they're gonna gender bend it just to gender bend it. Like, because Jean Grey is she's one of the strongest mutants, and she's a strong female character. Storm, strong female character. Rogue, strong female character. It wouldn't make sense for them to gender bend
I want Rogue so bad.
Cyclops.
Calm down there, dude. Don't let me get the
Well,
host.
Rogue, I forgot Rogue. She's probably one of my favorites, actually. I probably like her more than Professor X. I don't know why I didn't mention her in my first three. I love that character.
She is coming back, Hartman. She's part of the Thunderbolts. But when I say throwaway, I mean like it's not. Taskmaster wasn't as well known mainstream to
As
people
like Cyclops.
as like the X-Men are. So
Yeah.
I don't think that they're going to like that they can get away with and change, and it fits the narrative of their story. But there's no reason to make Cyclops a woman. Like I said, there's already such strong female representation in the X-Men that they're not gonna just do it to do it.
I agree.
I agree.
Like I totally get where you're coming from, Matt. Like Taskmaster is not somebody that like they made that change, and like the typical people that lose their mind over like Ariel being a black girl and stuff that are going off on Twitter probably had no idea that Taskmaster was originally a man.
Yeah, like Joe Doolin says, it's easier to destroy a villain. Exactly.
Well, on Taskmaster, they got plenty of crap for that. That was pretty widely hated.
Well,
In fact, I don't think I've seen anybody
character
that
was
liked.
dumb.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen like anybody that liked Taskmaster. It was bad.
Well, this kind of pissed me off. I was on Twitter the other day, and there was this person that was ranking all the Phase 4 movies, and all these people were saying, "Oh, Black Widow should be number 2, Black Widow should be number 3, or whatever," putting it towards the top. So there are people that like that movie. I don't understand.
Well,
why.
I'm not saying the movie. I just meant Taskmaster. I'm sure there are people that like it. I don't hate it. I think it's
I don't.
not
Ghost
great,
is a man in Thunderbolts. It's a different actor. They already announced the casting. It's not the girl.
Oh, really?
It's a dude now.
I don't have an
like her.
issue with. I mean, Black Widow wasn't great. I think the one thing that hurts Black Widow is where it came and when it came out.
Yeah.
It coming out after Endgame made no sense. So you don't care anymore. That character's gone. Like, why do you care about this story? So
yeah, that's the kind of movie that when James is getting older and we're going to go through and watch the Marvel movies, he's watching that before he sees Infinity War or Endgame.
Yeah, you're gonna watch.
I'm gonna put it in.
Yeah,
but the end
or the way it makes sense.
The end, if you show him that ending, it's not gonna make sense.
Well, I won't. Yeah, that's true.
When they're
I'll just know when. That's a post credit, right? I just won't let him watch that post credit.
Is it a post credits? I thought it was the end of the movie.
With
No,
her
it's a
being dead, I'm pretty
post-credit.
sure it's a post credit when you see
is
that she's
it?
dead. Yeah. So that's a good point, though. Don't let him watch that post credit, otherwise he finds out Black Widow's dead.
Yeah. I don't know. All right, next is Black Adam. Caught some heat online. New trailer was released. I'll just read the credit. Black Adam was faced with controversy due to its reference to 2017's Justice League. A new trailer for the Dwayne Johnson starring film was recently released, featuring footage from prior DCEU entries: Aquaman, Birds of Prey, Batman vs. Superman, and the original version of Justice League. However, the trailer was removed from social media and Warner Brothers' YouTube channel and later re-uploaded without any traces of the 2017 team-up movie. The move came on the heels of the trailer being met with criticism online due to it featuring footage from Joss Whedon's version of Justice League, specifically a shot of Steppenwolf attacking Earth in ancient times, which was an assault carried out by Darkseid in Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Darkseid,
sorry. I always read that Darkseid.
It's so stupid. Dude, it's so stupid. why is this even a problem? Like, who cares? I understand that you're canceling Joss Whedon and everything that happened, yada, 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 yada. But the movie's still out there. You can't erase what's out there, man.
No,
Why
their
does
thing
it
was
matter?
if you read the rest of the article, it's nothing to do with Joss Whedon. It's the fact that they're saying Snyderverse is canceled, but yet they're using stuff from the Snyderverse to prop up this movie.
Well,
Technically ties into it.
It's I thought it was already confirmed that this is part of that same continuity.
But yet David
But
Zaslav or whatever his name says Snyderverse is canceled, but yet they're still coming out with movies.
Well,
because this was already in production and I think it was already done filming before the merger even happened.
Yeah.
So
the thing I saw people mad about with this is that it wasn't like the Steppenwolf from the Zack Snyder Justice League. That's what I saw people being more upset about. And that's why they just revised the trailer. I haven't even seen this trailer because I'm looking forward to this movie. I don't really need to see any more promotional footage for it. I just want to go see a big action movie. I'm not like I'm not super duper excited, but nothing has been coming to theaters for a while. And so you give me an opportunity to go see a big action movie on a big screen, I will take it.
I just feel like go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
I was gonna say I like to go to the movies and be immersed in the movies and feel like these actors that are playing these characters really represent those characters and make me believe that these are these characters. But every time I see a trailer for this damn movie, all I see is The Rock in a Black Adam suit. Like they did nothing to try and make him look like Black Adam. He looks like he's The Rock in cosplay. Like there's just something about this movie that is not allowing me to believe that The Rock is Black Adam, and it's not allowing me to get immersed in this movie. And I really have zero like want to see this movie.
He looks cool in this image though, but I think this is fan creation.
Yeah, he looks
cool because this one even has like the elf ears on him.
Yeah,
but I don't think the movie they did that.
He's also looks smaller.
Yeah, that man is jacked.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not excited for this movie either, except for the sole fact of there's actually a movie coming out that I can get my butt
exactly.
But every trailer, I'm like, what? Like, why release a new trailer? Like, is this giving me more information? I feel like Spider-Man trailers came out, right? We were waiting for No Way Home trailers, and every trailer gave you a new piece of info, right? A new into the movie. Like this, what is this doing? It's taking the same images and recutting them in a different sequence.
What's up, Patrick?
Every time I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Whatever. All right, next piece of news. There's only so much we can beat the Snyderverse. But next piece of news has to do with James Bond. Producers Barbara, does that say broccoli? Is her last name Broccoli? And Michael G. Wilson on casting the next Bond. The thing is, it's going to be a couple of years off, Broccoli confirms. And when we cast Bond, it's a 10 to 12-year commitment. So he's probably thinking, do I really want that thing? Not everybody wants to do that. It was hard enough getting Daniel Craig to do it, which was, if you guys remember, was a huge thing. Like Daniel Craig, every movie was supposed to be his last movie. But a lot of people think, oh, yeah, it'd be fun to do one. She adds with a laugh. Well, that ain't going to work. Wilson then chimed in to add, it's a big investment for us, too, to bring out a new Bond. That's why when people go, oh, who are you going to get? It's not just about casting an actor for a film. It's about a reinvention. And where are you taking it? What do we want to do with the character? Broccoli notes. And then once we figure that out, who's the right person for that particular reinvention? So it sounds like they don't even have a short list of people that they're looking at right now.
Yeah, so like the thing with James Bond is it's always trying to be relevant to modern day action movies.
Mm-hmm.
And so like even the Daniel Craig movies, you can see the styles of those changing throughout the 15 years that he played the character. So Idris Elba's out at this point.
Yeah, he has come out and said he's out.
Yeah, but like I totally get what they're saying. Like they're trying to figure out, what do we do now? What's the new thing with action movies? How do we make this modern? How do we make it exciting? How do we make it new? So I get it, and like I understand like if it's a big commitment. Like I know people have said Henry Cavill and others, and but if it's 10 to 15 year commitment or whatever, maybe these people don't want to do it.
I want to see that now too.
Post Malone as Bond.
I love Post Malone, dude. That dude's awesome.
Should make Young Gravy Bond. He'd sleep with everyone's moms.
Yeah, this article also went on to say that a TV show is definitely out of the question, according to the producers. No James Bond TV show. They said that Bond really is for theatrical or nothing, which is cool. Not everything needs to be adapted into a TV show. I know TV shows like the new hot medium now.
Well, that's already a lie because they got a Bond comic book. So if it's movie or nothing, then that's already a lie.
But I don't think the producers are involved with the comic book. I think that's licensed.
I don't care. I don't think they need to make any more James Bond movies. Jesus Christ, there's already so many of them. Just let it go. Like, how many more spy stories can you tell?
I don't know,
endless, dude. Endless. There's so much.
Nah.
There are so many books that they can adapt to, like books that haven't even been touched yet. From gosh dang it, I want to say Ian McKellen, but that's not right. What's the dude's name that wrote these?
Ian something.
Not like Ian McKellen.
No, it's not that. The thing I think is so great about the Bond series, though, is
Fleming.
Ian
Fleming. Thank you.
But like the thing that I think is so interesting about the Bond series is that it's like it's reinvented and kind of rebooted so regularly, and it's not, I don't know, it's the kind of thing that just stays relevant forever, in my opinion. So I definitely
the last movie made buku bucks too. The last movie.
Give me another Austin Powers before you give me another James Bond.
And Amazon just bought the rights or bought MGM and has put a commitment towards James Bond. We definitely will see more James Bond.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna happen. I mean, Amazon, you buy MGM,
big chunk of why they bought it.
Yeah, what other bankable characters does MGM really have?
Bond died. It's over. Game over, boys.
Bond is rebooted. Daniel Craig's Bond is not the same as Pierce Brosnan's. It's not the same as Sean Connery's. It's not the same as any of them. Like, it's constantly rebooted, so it's going to be rebooted again.
There you go,
more
Patrick.
Superman movies then.
Patrick says, I'm with Matt. If Bond went away, I'd be good with it. Stuff like John Wick and Atomic Blonde, way better by far than the last 8 Bond films.
No, dude, the latest Bond was great. But I do like the John Wick movies more. But I don't know, dude. The Bond formula's so good. Good action, spies, goofy gadgets, MI6. It's classic. If Ish ends up listening to this recording, he's going to be so mad about this.
I'd rather watch Mission Impossible. I'd rather watch, like I said, I want another.
Mission Impossible got stale, dude.
I want another. Bond has been stale for years.
I loved the last Bond movie, dude. The last Bond movie was fucking awesome.
All of the laughing though. We go over this every week. Like,
I'm just looking at what Amazon acquired when they purchased MGM.
And that's
James
fine.
Bond,
I'm just saying, like,
The Handmaid's Tale, Fargo,
in a world where you've got like John Wick, and it's just like Bond is old and stale, man. Just let it.
Yeah, I'm just looking at everything that they purchased, and basically
now there's a character that'll get gender bent. I bet you money that the next Bond is going to be female.
No,
nope. The producers already came out and said absolutely not.
Yeah, okay. Like,
they're okay making him black or another race, but he needs to be a man. I mean, that's part of the core of James Bond anyways, it's kind of a womanizer.
Well, we're in 2022, man.
But if you look at what MGM purchased, James Bond, Rocky, and Stargate maybe are really the only. I mean, RoboCop was in that deal. Silence of the Lambs, which has been beat to death. Pink Panther.
Oh, bring that back. I like Pink Panther. Those like 70s movies are so good.
Well, I don't know if they own that one. They own the Steve Martin ones.
Oh, okay. Well, those I didn't like as much.
I don't know. All I remember is when he's trying to say hamburger. That's all I remember for that movie. He's like, say hamburger. He's like, I'm a get I don't know. Oops, what just happened? I think James Bond is the reason Amazon purchased it.
I agree.
I want John Hamm to be the next James Bond.
Dude, his new movie, I need to watch it. The Fletch movie. it's supposedly really good. It's getting really good reviews.
Well, hey, we're talking 10, 12-year commitment. Why don't we get Sir Patrick Stewart to be James Bond?
Yeah, because he's not like 90 years
Because that'll be right around his death date. Is that what you're saying? His last movie will be coinciding with his death
Geriatric Bond.
date. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's definitely coming.
You're gonna have his last Bond being Bond solves a mystery at the nursing home.
All I know is that for baby boomers specifically, Bond is something that they will continue to see in droves. Like my dad. My dad like watches all the Bond movies, bought them all on Blu-ray, like watches them all the time. It's
The
those
last movie I saw with my
Godfather.
dad.
Because they grew up in a time where content was shitty and few and far between, and it's not consumed like it is today.
But they're still paying money to go see that shit. So as long as
'Cause it's
Amazon
great,
can make
dude.
money, yeah, I liked it. But as long as Amazon can make money, dude, they're gonna keep making it. And I'm sorry, but I don't see fucking Pink Panther making buku bucks like Bond would.
No, it won't.
You know, but all right, well, that's the end of our geek news. So
Bond blows. Bond blows. In gaming news, Bond blows.
all
Well,
right,
in gaming news, you guys want me to do the gaming news reads?
go for it.
All right. Grand Theft Auto 6 per Kotaku.com, a user on the GTAF forums who claims to have also been behind the recent hack of Uber has just dumped nearly 100 videos online claiming to show development footage of Rockstar's Grand Theft Auto 6, which are currently circulating across pretty much every social media platform. I think a lot of these have been taken down at this point, and this guy I think has already been taken into custody.
Pretty sure it's a
but-
woman.
Well, whoever they are, pretty sure they've
Yeah.
been taken into custody already, and they're like 16 years old. Matching much of what Bloomberg reported earlier this year, including what the game will co-star a woman and be set in Vice City. The videos are very much in development footage with unfinished textures and models all over the place, and code playing out in real time across many of them. The leaker is currently taking requests asking people what else they'd like to see in more videos.
You said it's a 16-year-old?
That's what I heard.
So
They're an
I
idiot.
saw
They're obviously very smart too, but they're an idiot.
I saw a Twitter thing, and it's probably fake now that you're saying this, that it was possibly the voice actress.
I don't know. I didn't see anything about that. We might both be wrong.
Well, yeah, so they were taken into custody and apparently stole the source code as well, and were basically telling Rockstar to contact them or they were going to release the source code for the game, which would have been detrimental to Rockstar. But Rockstar then came out and replied with this. You want to go ahead? Can you read that, Max?
Sure. A message from Rockstar Games. We recently suffered a network intrusion in which an unauthorized third party illegally accessed and downloaded confidential information from our systems, including early development footage for the next Grand Theft Auto. At this time, we do not anticipate any disruption to our live game services nor any long-term effect on the development of our ongoing projects. We are extremely disappointed to have any details of our next game shared with you all in this way. Our work on the next Grand Theft Auto game will continue as planned, and we remain as committed as ever to delivering an experience to you, our players, that truly exceeds your expectations. We will update everyone again soon, and of course, we'll properly introduce you to this next game when it is ready. We want to thank everyone for their ongoing support through this situation. And then it's signed the Rockstar Games team.
Rockstar seems like a really what's top-notch.
They're one of the best studios in the country. Like,
take a lot of pride in their projects, like, because they don't release that many games, right? It's not like Square Enix that has like a game coming out every year, right?
Exactly.
They don't put out shit, and if something happens, they're very quick to get it rectified.
Yeah, they used to put out a lot more games. They used to, but
really,
and those games were usually good, but they put out a lot more quantity. But ever since like the Xbox One, PS4 era, I think they've released 2 games.
Rockstar's well known for GTA and Red Dead Redemption, so
Yeah.
Like,
Pretty much their 2 Call of Fame, right? Like,
yeah.
they don't really have anything else that's super bankable right now, right?
I mean, I think they do, but I'm not the biggest Rockstar Games like player, other
Well, you
than
love
Red Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my top 5 games ever. I've heard GTA is great. I just never have gotten into it. I
love
GTA. Yeah, I got GTA 5 for free on Epic Games when they were giving it out. I just haven't tried it out yet. I've heard
know
good things.
GTA 5 is still in hot demand because if you go to the GameStop or Walmart or something to buy that game, it's still a $50 game.
Yeah, it's like never on sale.
They just released it on the Xbox One X and PS5 updated version, and like you can buy just the online by itself without even the main story mode.
Yeah.
There's still a ton of people, but I still play.
It's a PS3 game. It's a 360 and PS3 game, and it's still extremely popular. Like that tells you how great this developer is. Like that's insane.
I'm looking at their games right now, and they have Grand Theft Auto, of course, Red Dead. They have LA Noire, which was a very critics loved that game. LA Noire.
I love that game too.
Bully, which is critically acclaimed.
Bully,
Max Payne,
everyone
not so
requests a sequel to Bully. They haven't gotten.
Max Payne, not so much. I think the first one was, but I think it's gone downhill since then.
Max Payne is still a widely popular franchise. They just aren't putting much else.
I don't know if they own it anymore. I feel like
it's on their website.
Oh, okay.
Max Payne 3, Rockstar Games presents. I don't know.
These are just for some reason another good one. Yeah.
Midnight Club, which was a pretty popular racing game.
As you can see, was
made into a movie, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Starring Mark Wahlberg.
As you can see, there's a lot of games, but they've since stopped releasing those, and they just released like one every 8 years.
Yeah,
like Grand Theft Auto Red Dead is their main call to fame.
GTA, the people, like I said, GTA 5, they're still creating content for it. They have all kinds of content for GTA Online all the time. So,
dude, I lucked out. It was on Xbox. I found it at Goodwill for Xbox One for $4 just 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
Oh, GTA 5?
Yeah, so I picked it up.
That is a very good deal.
Yeah, $4 disc, everything. I'm like, oh yeah, why not? I just feel like GTA, like I played all the GTAs, and I just feel like it's always kind of the same thing. But I don't ever play the missions or anything. I just go in there and like pick up hookers and steal cars and shoot people.
Matt can tell us whether this is true or not, but I've heard the story mode in GTA 5 is actually pretty good.
It is. It's very good. It's very good.
What is GTA Online like? What do? You're fighting against other people, like stealing other people's
basically what you just said you like to do is what GTA Online is. You have missions you can do to get money. But yeah, you fight other players that are driving around doing stuff. You can pick up hookers, bang them in your car, shoot random people, shoot the police. I get it. You
can do heists, right?
Just, with heists. It's kind of just free. It's just a giant free for all, man.
That sounds like Free Guy.
It is. Free Guy is based off of it. Like Free Guy is definitely based off of it.
Yeah, like everything you just described is like the video game world in Free Guy, like
like on PC, people mod the shit out of it, like Hartman said. And,
oh yeah, dude, there's some pretty funny. The Hulk mods that I've seen are pretty darn funny.
Yeah, there's a ton of mods for the PC version. A ton of like you can get like every superhero in there.
That's funny.
It's insane.
Thomas the Train Engine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I just feel like GTA is one of those things that's never gonna go away. Like every time they come out with one, like Call of Duty. It seems like every time Call of Duty comes out, people will buy it.
It's an instant sell. But the thing that I respect about GTA is like, yes, I get it. It's a cash cow. They've released, I think, 4 different versions of GTA 5. But it's not like Call of Duty that's this annualized franchise that gives you the same thing over and over and over again. Yeah. And I like Call of Duty, but like it is basically the same thing over and over again.
Different skin.
They only release a game like every like 10 years now at this point. So they put a lot of effort into these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I appreciate that and I respect that.
Well, you just look at how big the world is, man. Like you can go GTA sandbox is so big that they put out hundreds of hours of manpower and love, sweat, and tears into that world. So
I just remember staying up till 2-3 in the morning playing Vice City on my PS2.
Well, there you go. Then this is for you. You're going back to Vice City.
Yeah,
you know?
apparently this new one, which would make sense, it's GTA 6, so Vice
Yeah,
BI.
that's true. But the gameplay that leaked online, I saw some of it, and like people were trying to complain that it didn't look good, and I'm like, yeah, it's an in development game. This is like pre-alpha footage. They aren't ready
Not
to
meant
show
for
it.
public consumption.
It's not meant to
That's
be seen yet. It didn't look like awful, but it definitely didn't look polished and like it's ready to be, shown. It's
who
probably a
what
few years away.
who was it? We were showing the pre-FX stuff for Doctor Strange. They were on the show. I don't remember who it was, but they're like, it looks so bad. I'm like, yeah, it's pre-visual effects. It's
Yeah.
the same thing. Like it's basically the concept footage for the visual effects.
Yeah, they do that stuff a lot. Like I was watching they did an Obi-Wan Kenobi show like documentary to
Mm-hmm.
give you a look behind the scenes of that show and released on Disney Plus Day, and they had a ton of footage from I think even Empire or like the Revenge of the Sith, like some fights that weren't originally in the movie or that were planned to be in the movie that they didn't end up releasing. And yeah, they like do these horribly rendered, pre-visual effects things to give you concepts. They look
Mm-hmm.
awful, but it gives you the idea of what it's supposed to be about, and it's fun.
Well, and they usually send that to the producers and the director, like, this is what we were thinking it would look like. It gives them something, like, instead of dumping $1 million into something and changing it, you do something bare bones. Say, this is what we were thinking. Obviously, it's going to look better than this, which isn't the case in She-Hulk, apparently. But
She-Hulk is still pre-effects. They just they decided to release it.
But like you make something, that doesn't take a whole lot of time, that gives you the concept. And then once they say, yeah, I like this, then you go in and you fine tune it. It's like I went and saw the second G.I. Joe, like a pre-screening. Or no, I saw Gemini Man the same way. Gemini Man, we saw, they wouldn't even tell us what movie we were seeing. And the body double for Will Smith, like they hadn't put Will Smith's face on it yet. So you didn't even realize that was supposed to be Will Smith. Like a young Will Smith. Or G.I. Joe, they had the helicopter flying through the sky and bombing them, and the helicopter was basically looked like Legos. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'll probably pick up this game. I don't ever spend $70 on a game though, so probably wait 10 years when it drops to $30.
All
right, next
drops to $30.
Our last piece of video game news, something I'm very excited about. Max, go ahead.
Per Deadline via sffgazette.com, the Hunger Games director Francis Lawrence will take the helm of the project, while Logan and the Jungle Cruise scribe Michael Green is set to pen the movie's screenplay, and this is in regards to BioShock. As you may remember, Netflix announced back in February that they were teaming up with Take-Two Interactive to finally bring this story to life on screen. Lawrence will be completing his work on Hunger Games: The Ballad of the Songbirds before he takes on BioShock.
I kind of feel like this should be a TV show. Rather than,
I mean, it could be, but I think movie makes sense. I'll be honest. I think this is one of the most overrated games ever made.
I love this game.
but I think that the story is fascinating and the world is fascinating. So I think it makes for a great concept for a movie or a TV show. I mean, you could be right. It could be a really interesting TV show, especially because one of the whole things with BioShock is like the mystery that you don't find out until like the third act. So spread that out over a 13 episode season or whatever, that could be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I feel like it could, do 10 episodes or something. It could hook you. I don't know.
Yeah.
I love these games. Like I bought the collection on my Nintendo Switch just to play them again. Like I played this. The original BioShock came out on the 360, right?
Yeah. And I know I'm in the minority. For me, it's just that I don't like the gameplay. I just think it's clunky and not fun, but like I said, the story and the world building are fantastic. They're top notch.
It reminds me of like the old PC games that I used to play as a kid, like Myst and stuff. Like obviously it's more theatrical and stuff,
better
but
than that,
like that mystery aspect of it, and like the
I
world
loved
building,
Myst.
and like Myst was crazy. Or what was the other one we played? The Seventh Guest was a big one we played. That's more horror based, but I don't know. I like it. And Infinite was highly critically acclaimed.
I've only played the first one, so I will admit that I'm not able to speak to every single game.
Yeah, Infinite was probably their best reviewed entry into the series.
I thought BioShock, the original, like got 10 out of 10s like everywhere.
Infinite, I'm pretty sure, was a nomination for Game of the Year.
Wait, yeah, Infinite's a good game, but BioShock 1 was very well regarded too. So
Yeah,
Well,
BioShock
yeah,
2 is the
obviously,
only
they
one
made-
that's like considered the dud.
BioShock 2.
Yeah, like, and I think people like it. I've just heard that of the three, it's the least liked. Is my understanding.
yeah, it's definitely not as good as the first one nor Infinite. Like I love the story in Infinite more than BioShock 1. So I'd be more stoked if they were making Infinite a movie versus the first BioShock, but it makes sense to go with the original first instead of Infinite.
Who gives like the Game of the Year recognition that you see all the time? Like what? Who does that?
It usually gets voted on. Like, well, each like publication will do their own like Game of the Year, but they hold like the video game awards, and the video game awards, but it gets voted on.
Yeah,
Because I'm looking at like they have Golden Joystick Award, Spike VGX, like all these different like things that do video game awards. I don't know, like it's not like
there's
the
a
Oscars.
lot of them, but like the most well recognized one now is the Game Awards. It's hosted by this game journalist Jeff Knightley, and he puts it on every year now. And that's like the gold standard in the gaming industry now for Game of the Year.
I gotcha.
A lot of people don't like the Game Awards, but I enjoy it. It's a fun time of year to like celebrate all the games that came out. There's usually new games that are announced there. The Xbox Series X was revealed at the Game Awards in 2019, as well as Hellblade 2. So I think I love the Game Awards. I think they're really a fun concept.
It's commonly listed among both audiences and critics as one of the greatest video game series of all time and a demonstration of video game as an art form.
Yeah.
The original plot's twist where the player discovers that the player character Jack... Oh, I don't want to... That's spoilers.
Yeah. And this game is
spoilers in a game that's like fucking
I guess
15 years old. Jesus.
But I don't know if it's like... I don't know. I mean, the movie's coming out. I don't know how close they're going to follow the thing. But in February 2011, the Smithsonian Institution announced it would be holding an exhibit dedicated to the art of video games. Several games were chosen initially, and the public could vote on which games they felt deserved to be displayed via a poll on the exhibit's website. BioShock was considered a frontrunner to be displayed because of its status as a game that demonstrated how artistic the medium can be. Yeah, so the Smithsonian put it in their freaking exhibit. I don't know. I'm excited for it. All right. Well, Max is gone. And I'm pretty sure he's the only person that watched Rings of Power. So do you want to play that video, Matt?
Sure.
It's time for movie. So I just jumped over to She-Hulk since Max left. I guess we'll jump into Andor after. But She-Hulk this week, man. Ish isn't here. Do you want to get a synopsis of it, Matt?
Sure. This is the oddly placed wedding episode where Jen goes to the wedding of a friend she knew since she was a child. And as she's attending said wedding, she tries to show up there as She-Hulk to show up and show out, as they say. And the bride was like, "You're not really going to show up
me.
Yeah, you're not really gonna upstage the bride at her own wedding, are you?" As She-Hulk, and she said, "Oh no. I'm just Jen. I'm just gonna be Jen." So then you see her
title
as
credits say
Jen.
just Jen.
Yeah, and so she's just Jen throughout the episode. She meets a guy there unexpectedly. She's kind of going through this whole thing where she feels out of place because she's just Jen. She can't be She-Hulk, and then so we get a nice little dance montage as she's drinking at the cash bar. Rock the cash bar, as you say. She's rocking the cash bar. and then she gets beat up by Titania, and she's drunk, so she has to try to sober up so she can perform. You like that little innuendo of how you can't perform when you're drunk. She has to sober up so she can perform and turn into She-Hulk and get in a giant fist fight, which the DJ, who is also her cousin, decided to announce wedding fight during it. And yeah, that's essentially all that happens. And then you find out that someone is trying to steal her blood, which is going to probably pay off and play into Captain America New World Order. And it's
that's a good point. Maybe it's the leader that's
whatever,
behind all of this.
Yeah, it's kind of whatever. This episode, the last 2 episodes were kind of whatever. Like, the only payoff for last week's episode was the Daredevil helmet, which even really isn't that big of a payoff because we already knew it. This episode is kind of like, why the hell did we even get this? What was this?
Could have been an end credits.
It's meant to be a TV sitcom, and that's kind of what I'm trying to expect every week. Is this is just a little sitcom. I don't expect anything big and earth-shattering from this show.
I would help her get her groove back as well as Zaggy. I would.
Yeah, I watched it, and normally these shows, like, I've been enjoying this show, right? And normally I give it a second viewing because we talk about it on this, and I want to be, I don't want to miss anything that could be talked about on this show. This episode, I kind of just avoided a second viewing. So you're watching and you're just like, what? Why was this made? She even says in the beginning of the episode, like, yeah, this is oddly placed for a wedding episode, but we're going to do it anyways. It's like, okay, I get winking at the screen, but essentially saying, hey, this is a Marvel thing and we know you're going to watch it, so we're just going to do whatever the fuck we want anyways, no matter how bad it is.
Every week I'm going to talk about
I don't get it, dude. I don't understand your fascination with
her. I don't get it either.
But I don't know, man. What do you say about this show other than
it's because she's got dumps like a truck. Thighs like what? I want to see
all night long.
I want to see her move her butt.
Let me see that thong.
That's right.
I don't know. I need better CGI to be interested in this chick.
I feel like, when I was doing the thumbnail for if Andor
Heartbid, I was told to eat my greens. Right.
So when I was doing the thumbnail for the show, and Andor came out, so it gave me a pivot to do something else. Like, the thumbnail almost was, you remember that meme of the stick figure like poking the other thing with the stick, saying, "Hey, come on, do something." That is almost what the thumbnail was She-Hulk lying on the ground with a dude poking her with a stick, saying, "Hey, do something," because that's what I feel like. I feel like this was made to just pacify us, almost like, hey, we got to have another strong female character, so let's make this show. But I feel like it could have been smarter than it is. She-Hulk could be a really interesting character, and I was hoping to see more of the law stuff and the law procedural type stuff than what I'm seeing. Her getting drunk at a wedding fighting Titania. You know what I mean? Like, it could have been a venture into something that Marvel's never done before and done like kind of a Law and Order type thing. But yet I feel like they just took what they thought was a safe route in developing this show. I don't know.
I don't know what their thought process was behind the show. I don't think it's very good. I there's some episodes I've liked. I don't hate it, but if this wasn't a Marvel show, I wouldn't be watching it. I probably would have given it 2 episodes and then stopped watching. But because it's Marvel, I'm still watching.
Well, maybe it's time we start doing that instead of giving it a pass because it's Marvel. Because to me, over the last few years, Marvel has been, ever since Endgame, minus Spider-Man
movies. Yeah.
Minus Spider-Man No Way Home. It's been phoned in and it's been soft, and it just has not lived up to the Marvel standard that we're used to after the first 10 years. And I think that because it's Marvel, people give it a pass. And when honestly, I think it's about time you just start standing up and just being like, look, the shit's soft, the shit's weak, you're losing your touch. Maybe it's time to stop. Maybe it's time to be done with superhero movies. Maybe it's time to stop releasing 5 superheroes fucking movies a year. Focus on one.
Maybe maybe like, you know, don't be so aggressive when it comes to putting out content, and maybe put off, you know, 1 movie, 2 movies a year and leave it at that, or 1 movie and a TV show. But to be fair, like you were saying, everything after Endgame minus Spider-Man, I thought WandaVision, Loki, and Falcon the Winter Soldier were very entertaining.
Yeah, I liked
all 3 of those. And even to some extent, Hawkeye.
Hawkeye
was a better, like Hawkeye was, there was a lot of funny stuff in it, like kind of felt a little sitcom-y, and it did a way better job at doing that than She-Hulk has done it, in my opinion.
I just think 2022 has been a bad Marvel year. Because I agree with Lance, like some of those TV shows have been good. Those were last year, though. 2021, I thought the TV shows were good, but Moon Knight wasn't good. She-Hulk, really, it's not that great.
I liked Miss Marvel.
I like Miss Marvel was fine, but I wasn't really, I forgot about it until you said it. So like, but it wasn't made for me, and I acknowledge that. Like She-Hulk really isn't made for me either. So it's just like not a very exciting year. I liked Doctor Strange, but it was disappointing compared to what I wanted it to be. Thor was not good. And was there another Marvel movie this year that I'm just not remembering? No, because
Black Panther's coming out.
Wakanda hasn't come out yet. I'm looking forward to that. I hope it's good. I'm hoping that that's like the best Marvel movie we get.
Namor looks weird though, man. I am not sure about Namor. I really hope they don't fuck that character up, because Namor could be awesome. I don't know, man. I liked Miss Marvel. I thought it was cute. I watched it with my kids. Like,
I thought it was cute.
I felt like it was actually building towards something, like building another part of this world that we hadn't seen. Where does She-Hulk sit? Like, what does it do for everything? Has had like some impact into the the tapestry that is the Marvel universe. What is She-Hulk doing besides giving us a Daredevil tease for when Born Again comes out?
Well, I think Matt hit the nail on the head earlier. It's probably going to lead into Captain America 4. I wouldn't be surprised if the leader's the one trying to get her blood.
That would make sense.
To create a Red Hulk.
Yeah.
And I think the Red Hulk will be someone other than General Ross, because he died.
Yeah, it's going to have to be somebody else. Do you think that he I was wondering if the leader has always wanted to get it from Jen since she came around, or if he was trying to get the blood from Bruce Banner. But I think that the alien ship is completely unrelated to
the alien ship
trying to take her blood.
World War Hulk.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
No, there's not. I don't think there's gonna be a World War Hulk movie, because I think somebody else
talking about it for the last like 6 months that apparently
but I think that doesn't a different studio own the rights to Hulk?
No,
but I think it's
contract ends next year or in 2 years.
They already did World War Hulk though. You had World War Hulk in Thor Ragnarok. Like, it's already been done. So
I agree. So I don't know what they're gonna do, except for, I mean, in Ragnarok, he wasn't like held captive like he is in World War Hulk. I don't know.
I don't know though, because he didn't look like he was held captive in that spaceship during the She-Hulk episode that he was talking to her on. So,
or do you think it's going to lead into something with like Secret Invasion or something?
Probably more likely that,
or Kang Dynasty, or Secret Wars. So
yeah, I think that's what you meant, right, Lance? Or maybe you did mean Secret Invasion, but I was thinking Secret Wars.
Well, I was just thinking that technically Nick Fury's off world right now. Could it be Nick Fury needs Hulk's help with something?
Maybe. Which I'm looking forward to Secret Invasion.
That trailer looks
good.
Awesome. Yeah, did COVID fuck that Marvel up? Like, did COVID just throw a wrench into everything? I mean, what is it like?
I think it's the same thing that I'm having problems with Star Wars. We wanted so much content, and now we have so much content. There's too much of it to consume, and it doesn't like it. It feels like you're not getting a long enough break. Like, I didn't mind waiting a year between movies. But now, like I don't need a new Marvel show every couple of months. Like it's
I
just
wouldn't mind if
it's
they were
overload,
good.
man. It's just they're running out of ideas. They're running out of there's it's just not it just hasn't been good, man.
Which is incredible that they're running out of ideas, because you could argue that comic books, there's so much, like more than anything else, the amount of source material that you have to adapt. I mean, how many times has She-Hulk been rebooted in a comic series?
Well, I mean that's
Shit ton.
can't say that because all comics have been rebooted a shit ton.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like out of any other medium like that you can think of, books or like Hunger Games, for instance, they had 3 books, they made 3 movies. Now they're making a prequel off another book that she wrote. There's not, 100 years of source material. Like Lord of the Rings has a ton of source material that they're going off letters and shit that Tolkien wrote, right? A lot of this new show I think is from letters, right, Max? That he wrote.
It's based on a lot of different things.
Yeah. So
Letters
there's a
and
ton of
books
shit,
and-
but nothing has the depth of source material that comic books does. Yet, can you tell me anywhere where this show has been adapted from a comic book?
Even in the writing, it's like it's not. Comic book writing nowadays isn't that great in a lot of books. Like, dude, I go to the shop every week and I buy a handful of books, but I read maybe 1 or 2 of them. I don't know. I think maybe I'm just getting pop culture or superhero fatigue with all this crap, but it's to the point where like I'm starting really not to care anymore. And if I had any other options other than seeing Marvel movies, I don't know if I'd go to a Marvel movie again. Like it's just not. I don't know. It's just losing my grip.
I don't blame you. This year has been losing me too.
I feel like She-Hulk could have been a secondary character in a Hulk movie.
Yeah.
Like,
so I started rewatching some of the like older Marvel movies, and I don't want to say old because they're not. But
I agree, Joe Doolin. I mean, you can't explain the divorce scene because it did make no sense. Like that's not how divorce proceedings work.
Oh, it was kind of funny, but that was dumb. Yeah, so like I watched Winter Soldier, Civil War, and then I started Infinity War today. And goodness gracious, those are all so much better than anything we've gotten this year. And I know, like, Lance, you're not as big of a fan of Civil War as me, but like, it's pretty darn good compared to what we've been getting this year.
oh, I agree with that.
It's just
Civil War was fine. It
didn't adapt the comic.
I loved that book, and it didn't really do anything. But I get I get they didn't have the rights to all the characters that I wanted to see that are in the book, right? They didn't have the Illuminati, and they couldn't do a lot of those things. So I get it. I just feel like it's Civil War in name only. That's my only issue with that movie. The fight scene at the end between Captain America and Iron Man was fucking awesome.
It was more of a civil battle. As I was watching it today, I'm like, this isn't really a war because wars span over time. This was like a weekend.
Yeah,
so.
I feel like that movie could have been called Captain America: The Dispute.
Yeah, it was more like Captain America: An Unfortunate Conflict.
I really enjoy it.
Winter Soldier was a masterpiece, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
Winter Soldier was great, but Winter Soldier, like back then, if you think about it, they were taking like all these ideas for like that. Winter Soldier is a political drama, right? And Ant-Man was a heist movie, and they're taking all these like themes for these movies and then Marvel-fying them, I guess. When's the last time they really felt like they've done that? Like, that's why I was so hopeful for She-Hulk, because I was like, oh, dude, it's their chance to do a law procedural type show in the setting of superheroes. And for the first couple episodes, it felt like it was going that way when she's asked to start her own superhero division. She's defending Abomination. But since then, it's been, hey, I want to try to get laid. Hey, I need to go to my friend's wedding. Hey, there's a magician. Like, all the law stuff is gone. I was really hoping that this episode was going to be her in the courtroom opposite Matt Murdock, like, for something. And that was going to be the interaction. But the last 2 episodes just feel like fillers, and I can't stand fillers. That's my one beef that I have with CW is you have a really good premise for a show, but they have to stuff 22 episodes into a season, and half of those are just filler episodes. That's what this felt like, a filler episode.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know. It just doesn't seem smart. It doesn't seem original in the least. I don't know.
Joe's Jewel, and I like that. So She-Hulk should have been one large court case as the season story arc with hijinks peppered in. That would have been pretty interesting.
That's
like
kind of what I wanted.
The Lincoln Lawyer. If you guys watch that on Netflix, that's what that whole season is. It's like one court case, 10 episodes or whatever it is it takes to get to the end of that case. That would have been a really interesting show. I would have liked that. And it maybe could have been Abomination. I don't know, but could have, taken the entire season to unravel a mystery.
Well, the first season of Daredevil, he's in the courtroom a lot, or he's like looking at defending people, and like you see him do a lot of the lawyer type stuff, and then he's also a superhero. This is like, she keeps saying how much she wants to be a lawyer, but have we really seen her do anything but one lawyer thing?
She's done a little bit. There's been some, but not a lot.
I don't know. I feel like it could be so much better.
It could be.
And what a missed opportunity to not have at least one episode start with dun dun, like
trademark, bro. You can't do
it. It's Disney, dude. They'll pay somebody.
Trademark.
Dun dun. This is the stories of the courtroom. Dun dun. I don't know, man. Daredevil sucked till Kingpin came in. When did he come? Was that second season that he came in? No, he was in the first season.
It was like 2 episodes in. I think the 3rd episode, 4th episode.
Yeah. I don't understand.
That show was great from the get-go.
It's just zaggy. Don't pay any attention to him.
Yeah. I literally put the second episode scene where it's like that one shot fight. I put that scene on yesterday because I wanted to watch it again because it's so good.
I loved that first season. Which one was it? Max, you probably remember. Which one was the season that I didn't care for much?
I don't know. I don't understand how you could not care for a season.
There's one season that I'm like, this sucks.
There's not a season that sucks.
You have this weird thing with it. There's one season.
No, most people do. Everyone likes all 3
seasons. It might be the
Daredevil.
3rd season.
Because the second season is that's the best season. Frank Castle coming in and everything. Oh, it's fantastic. Season 3 is the only one that I guess I could see some degree of done.
It might be season 3. It's been a while.
I love season 3. I thought it was really good.
I think season 3, because is that the one where Kingpin is like captive in his house for most of the season?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't care for that much. And that's the one with Elektra too, right?
Elektra's is she in that one? She's in the 2nd season. I don't know if she's in the 3rd season.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like
what's next? I'm ready to talk about.
I gotta go back. Well, you and I could talk about Andor real quick.
I mean, let's end on Andor. I'll give my very quick thoughts about Rings of Power.
We're gonna skip Rings of. You want to give quick thought?
Yeah, I'll give quick thoughts about Rings of Power. Since you guys don't watch it, I'll just say this show is very intriguing to me, and every Thursday when it comes up, I'm preparing some popcorn in my kitchen. 9 o'clock rolls around. I'm coming into my office, turning my TV towards my lazy boy, cranking that sound up and watching every episode, and I'm loving it. The last 2 weeks that I've done that, I've been there just watching these because they're like an hour and 10-minute long episodes, and I'm just like, please don't end. I'm literally when I feel like the episode's getting to a close, I'll press up on my remote to see how much time is left, and then I'm like, oh good, there's still 20 more minutes. Oh, there's still 8 more minutes. Okay, all right. Like I am so loving this show, and I'm very happy because I know, like, my cousin Tyler, he hates it. He really isn't liking it. There's a lot of people that don't like it, but then there's a lot of people that do. I think it's
there's a lot of people that don't like it because they think it's like completely going against the source material, right?
Yeah, and like I can understand that reasoning.
Black dwarves and stuff.
Well, if that's your reason, I don't understand that. I think that's stupid. But if your reasoning is it's different than what was in the Silmarillion, or it's contradictory to this or that. Like, I understand that, like, reasoning for not liking that. Like, okay, that's fair, I guess. I just don't care as much. I'm realizing that with Lord of the Rings, I'm not as like concerned about, is this exactly what Tolkien wrote in his canon? And I'm more concerned about, am I being entertained? And I'm being entertained. And I'm not a Tolkien lore expert, so I don't know. There's other Tolkien lore experts that I follow that say that it's following things fine. But then there's other
Hartman,
people that say it's not.
This is not your best moment, bro. You've done better, buddy.
Hartman, yeah.
I wear rings
Anyway.
and pow her is what he's.
Yeah. I don't know. I love it. I can't wait for the next 2 episodes. No. What was this?
It's
the 4th
already
episode?
ending?
It's only an 8-episode season. I think that was the 5th episode. So there's 3 more. It looks like the next 3 are going to ramp it up because after every episode they show a preview for the next one, and there's characters that have been having separate story arcs for the last 5 episodes. That in the trailer they're showing you that those story arcs are going to collide. So
I feel like it just started.
It did, but I think they released the first 2 episodes on the first week. Am I wrong about that? I don't know, but I'm loving it.
No, you're right. They did.
Yeah. So we're like 3-4 weeks in because they released 2 episodes the first week.
So you
that's it. We can move on.
Thumbs up.
I'm giving it 2 massive thumbs up.
All right, so let's try to convince Matt why he's wrong about this show. Okay, so you guys all know me. I'm not a big Star Wars guy. I'm not at all. Anna sat down and said, she's like, oh, I didn't even realize this was Star Wars when I was watching it, which I told you, Max. I said it feels the least like Star Wars out of anything else I've ever watched. But
I get what you mean.
There's no Jedi. There's no Skywalker. There's like, it's just a show about an interesting character. They gave us 3 episodes. Like, I'm invested, dude. I've watched all 3 episodes twice now. Like, I love it.
Yeah, you've watched it more than me already.
Yeah, I really liked it. Like,
I watched the 3rd episode twice, but I didn't watch the first 2 again.
Yeah, I really like it. But then again, what's the name of the movie that this is a prequel to?
Rogue One, man. It's like the best Star Wars movie.
No, I was just having a brain fart. That's my favorite Star Wars movie, but it also feels the least amount of Star Wars out of all the other Star Wars movies. I think I'm just not a huge Star Wars fan, so like those are like good stories, you know. They're well written and they have a good premise, and I don't feel like they're tied down to having to talk about.
Nailed it, Zaggy.
I don't feel like they have to start talking about Skywalkers, or like it doesn't get muddied down with that shit.
It's probably going to get muddied down with some of it eventually, but I agree with you. And it's interesting. It's what Zaggy is saying as like negatives, I'm taking as positives. So when you say it's a slow burn about the Rebel Alliance, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
And then when he says, I want new content in his next comment, it is new content. But I guess it's not fresh enough for him. And Matt, you're saying you agree, so this isn't fresh enough for you. I
don't want content about a character. You already know he died. Like, you know what happens. Why do I need to know his backstory? I could give 2 shits. Give me new people. Give me new situations. Give me new. That's what's so good about The Mandalorian is it's relatively new faces, not new places, but new situations, things like that. And this is just like you're doing the same trope.
Yeah, but everything
like,
you
we
just
don't need
said,
to know more.
Everything you just said is the same reason why people thought Rogue One wasn't going to work.
Rogue One was surprising. Yes. I mean, even a broken clock's right twice a day, and even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. You know, it's sometimes you catch lightning in a bottle. I can use all these analogies I want, but just I don't need more Rebel Alliance shit. I don't need more. Like, get past it. Give me something else. Like, I don't need to know more about characters that connect to the Skywalker saga. Let's move on.
I agree with you.
Let us move on. Continue to let us move on. Like, we're getting starting to get hot shit. I know that Ahsoka is connected to the Skywalker saga in ways too with Anakin, but like, I'm looking forward to going that route rather than going backwards and just trying to capitalize on Rogue One because of it. trying to capitalize it. I don't need a stuttering droid, and I don't need the same trope of we're gonna go to a cantina or a brothel or a bar, and there's always gonna be just that one asshole who wants to start trouble with the main character, and it's just, come on, dude. Like, how about some fresh writing in this? How about just, we don't need to go into these same tropes. Like they told a your mom joke, for God's sakes. They told him when he's talking to the dude about an alibi, and the guy's like, tell your mom to like turn the heat up next time, it was cold in there. Like, he makes a your mom joke in the first episode, and it's just like, this is what Star Wars has become.
I don't know. I love it.
I didn't see that as a your mom joke, but I love it too. I think it's a really interesting show. I agree with you though, Matt. Like, I want to see that post Return of the Jedi storyline more. Like, that's the most interesting part of Star Wars to me right now.
Thrawn. I want to see Ezra. Like, I'm more invested in that because it's characters, but they have an unfinished story. Yeah. I'm tired of going back and rehashing a story that's been told twice now, and now we're going on round 3.
See, but it hasn't been told yet.
They talk about what happens in Rogue One in the original Star Wars and the New Hope. They talk about it and you see everything you need to see in Rogue One, and now they're basically rehashing Rogue One by giving you stuff about Andor before the events of Rogue One. Like, it's the same, man. Like, it's just,
I get where you're coming from. I just don't agree. I think it's really interesting to see this idea of, like, because we know that, when you get to A New Hope, there's a full Rebel Alliance and all these, groups that are united. But right now where we're at, it's all these pockets of rebellion. And Star Wars Rebels shows us a little bit of that. But this, I feel like, is going to really give us more of, like, how those pockets of rebellion turn into a cohesive Rebel Alliance. How Mon Mothma's involved. Like, that's what I'm excited about. Seeing Mon Mothma, seeing this new character that I don't know his name. I don't even know if they've said it, but the Skarsgård guy who was with Andor in the 3rd episode, his character's new and fresh. Like, how is he involved? Based on the trailers, he seems to be rich. Maybe he's a politician. I think it's fascinating to find out how the Rebel Alliance comes together. But I see where you're coming from. We know that they do become a Rebel Alliance. We know he dies. We know they win. We know all these things. Ezra's story is unfinished. Ahsoka's story is unfinished. Like, I get that. Like, we don't know about those characters, so it's a little bit more interesting. But I loved this. Like, I loved it, and I can't wait for more. I think it's gritty. I think it's
I feel like it's very grounded.
It's grounded. Yeah.
I feel like everything that I'm not a huge fan of Star Wars for is not in this. There's not these. I don't know. It feels so much less like of a fantasy type story. It feels more grounded. It feels like the characters. I feel like the dialogue is much better. Like,
I love the dialogue, the music. Oh my gosh.
The music.
The 3rd episode when he's talking to the Skarsgård character. Oh my gosh. There's some music that just swells that gets me amped up.
I feel, and judging by the last thing that we got in the Star Wars universe, which was Boba Fett, this is so much better than that dumpster fire of a show. I don't know. I like it, man. But I like ground. That's why I like Rogue One so much. It feels more grounded than all the 6 or 9 other movies.
Like, dude, how dope was that when the security council people, or the security guards, that one guy's trying to get in their ship to get away, and the people in the city had like tied another ship to it. Like, that was so cool, seeing that ship go down because the city fought back, or the whole like pounding of the metal, like the tension that brought to everybody.
Yeah. That last episode was really good.
Dude, it's so slow. I've only gotten through the first episode, and this came out on Wednesday, and I just finished the first episode today. Like,
yeah,
it's so,
I would say it definitely amps up the 3rd episode. But
the
I watched
first
all
2
3
episodes
twice.
I watched them immediately. I woke up at 5 a.m. Wednesday morning and watched them right before I went to work, and I don't regret it at all. I loved it. But if they had only released episode 1, and even if they only released the first 2 episodes, I feel like I would have been disappointed, because it is a slow burn. You're right, Matt. It's slow, but episode 3 pays it off. in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like episode 3 was really good. Like you start seeing, I don't know his name, but Skarsgård, Pennywise's dad.
Yeah, and if Matt gets to be horny for She-Hulk, can I just say that
Binks, what's her name?
I don't know, but she's gorgeous. Oh my
Yeah, she's very
goodness.
attractive.
Oh my gosh, she is beautiful.
She is, yes, I agree.
And I love that they I don't want to say anything because Matt hasn't seen it all.
I'm probably not going to watch it.
They kill off a character that I was happy that they killed off.
As long as it's not Forrest Whitaker and his lazy eye, I'm okay with it.
See, we haven't even gotten to him yet. Like that's another reason I'm excited. We don't know that much about.
Is he for sure in this show?
Yeah, he was in the trailer. Yeah,
I don't think I've watched any of the trailers
and
for this.
Rogue One talks about how he was part of the Rebel Alliance, and then he eventually severs his connection with them. So I think we're gonna get that explored over these 2 seasons of the show. Like, how does Saw Gerrera sever his ties with the Rebel Alliance?
This is 5 years before Rogue One, right?
Yes.
I don't see. Is it really 2 seasons? Because I've heard it's only 1 season cut in 2 parts.
Well, I don't know. Either way, it's supposedly going to be 24 episodes. The first season or part, whatever you want to call it, 5 years before, and then the second part, season, whatever, is supposedly going to lead up to like right up to Rogue One era, so New Hope era.
So stupid.
I love it. I love it, man.
Hey, Matt, you want a good palate cleanser? We said all we were going to say about Andor. I feel like
I'm good.
We have.
I'm good.
Yeah. All right. So I found a hidden gem of a show. Matt is really into Letterkenny, and I found this show on Netflix, and he's probably already seen it, but it has had me rolling on the floor. I feel like it's very much like Letterkenny. Super Bro. Have you heard of it?
Nope.
Dude, you need to watch that tonight, dude. This shit is so ridiculous. It reminds me a lot of Letterkenny. It's from some people out in it's an Australian show. It has to be the most funny shit I've ever seen in my life. So if you want a palate cleanser, go watch Super Bro. It's fantastic. I
get my palate cleanser in Beavis and Butthead.
Dude, I'm telling you, Super Bro may be your new favorite obsession. 2 seasons of it. Apparently, it was the most watched show on the Australian Netflix or something like that, and they brought it over here, and it's been killing it over here. But dude, it is fucking ridiculous. It's 2 guys that basically play every part in the show. So one guy has like 5 different roles. He plays his own mother, plays somebody else. Like it's so fucking ridiculous and stupid that I've been hooked. I loved Shorzy. Matt did not.
Yeah, no, I mean Shorzy was all right, but it's just not. It doesn't live up to the hype of real.
It's
like
different than
Letterkenny.
Letterkenny. It has like one clear storyline throughout the whole season. I feel like Letterkenny doesn't do that as much. Letterkenny, you can pretty much jump in on any episode in it.
Yeah,
they're like single doses. But Shorzy, it's like from start to finish, it's one story. Super Bro reminds me a lot of Letterkenny, that you can literally jump in on any episode and it'll be funny.
Yeah, Shorzy had good hockey jokes and stuff. I don't know, like I feel like there was stuff that happened in Letterkenny that they just gloss over, and in Shorzy, like JJ can speak perfect English in Letterkenny, but he can't speak it in Shorzy. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
But that show, dude, I love it so much because it doesn't have to make sense.
No, it doesn't. And I am loving Letterkenny as well, but it's just, I don't know, man.
Go watch Super Bro, dude, on Netflix. Each episode's like 15 minutes. They're super short, easy doses. They're fucking stupid. One episode, the dad has like these anger issues, and there's a gas station that's selling gas at like 90 cents less than everybody else, and he decides to fill up as many barrels of this gas and straps them to like his little Honda Civic. And he has like these huge like 50-gallon jugs strapped all over his Honda Civic, and then puts all the gas in these things but forgets to fill up his tank and then stalls on a hill.
That does sound funny.
and the car starts rolling backwards, and he gets out to try to stop the car, and then the barrels fall off, and one barrel falls into a lake, and he goes and runs after that one, and while he's on that barrel in the lake, some other dude steals all the barrels from his car. It's just fucking stupid. It is the dumbest shit I've ever seen, but it is so funny.
I agree with you, Hartman, 100%.
What?
Letterkenny is a hacky sack of comedy. If you're good, you get it. They put a face to Shorzy, and they shouldn't have. I agree.
Yeah,
100%.
That was my one thing when they announced the Shorzy show. I said, "Wait, we're gonna see Kiso as Shorzy." Because one of the best things about Shorzy was it always was his back. Like he was sitting on like a toilet talking shit to somebody, or on like you never saw his face because it's Max. You don't watch it, but Shorzy is the same actor that plays the main character on Letterkenny. And he was always like in the background screaming your mom jokes at all the other
really? So
characters.
Shorzy was played by the
Yeah,
main guy?
but you never see his face. It's just him talking in another voice at a distance and like yelling insults at the other characters that you're seeing, all usually about their mothers. And it was one of the funniest bits on the show, wouldn't you say, Matt?
Yeah,
because it would go on like there'd be like 7 or 8 exchanges, and each exchange would ramp up more and more into these your mom jokes. And then the new show Shorzy, like it's actually Jared Kiso as Shorzy. Like you see his face, like it's not as bombastic, I guess you could say. So they do ruin the character a little bit, but I like the show. I mean, but I could see.
No, I mean it's good for what it is. Like I like it. It's a nice Letterkenny, like I don't know what I would call it, like palate appetizer, but it definitely leaves me wanting
not Letterkenny.
more Letterkenny. Yeah.
It's not nearly as good as Letterkenny, but I enjoyed it. I want more Letterkenny. Anytime a new season of Letterkenny comes out, I watch it, and probably, the first day it comes out, I finish it, and I said, damn, that wasn't enough. Every season. But I don't know. They have their different strengths.
I'll have to check that show out.
Super Bro?
Yeah.
Dude, I think you'll like it, dude. And if you go online and look it up, like the critics are like, Super Bro may be one of the most funny shows I've seen in a long time. Like it's absolutely stupid. So don't go into it thinking that you're going to see like some Martin Scorsese production. It is definitely not.
Yeah, I'm just worried though, because you have a tendency to oversell things. And I'm gonna
I don't know.
It not be as good as you're saying it is.
It might just be humor for me. Like I know that this is a show that is not for everyone, but I find it absolutely hysterical and so stupid. It is so dumb that it's funny. I don't know.
Here's Shorzy to me. Like I've watched Shorzy twice now, and it's good. But like I've probably watched every episode of Letterkenny from season 1 to current like 5 times. I've just binged the seasons ridiculously.
Yeah, I'm not into Letterkenny as much as that. I've watched each season once.
See, even Aaron's throwing you. She said he did say it's the funniest he's ever seen in his life.
It's hysterical, dude, but it's so stupid.
Katie is a smoke show. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
I love Katie, but I think that I'm into Bonnie the most, dude.
Yes, Hartman, I agree. That's the clip. Every time I tell someone about Letterkenny, that's the clip I show them of when they're playing catch, and then Squirrely Dan starts talking about taking a finger in the butthole, and
man, that's the one that got me interested.
Derry and Wayne like cut him out and completely start ignoring him. But
Bonnie McMurray
she's a smoke show too.
Angelic. Like Bonnie McMurray.
Every woman on those shows is a smoke show.
Dude, like, Bonnie McMurray is like handcrafted from like fine marble, dude. Like that woman is something else.
Bonnie McMurray.
She's so hot. I think she overshadows Katie.
Nah, dude.
Katie's hot. Show. Bonnie, dude. Maybe Bonnie. Bonnie has a little darker skin. She's not as white. So it might just be my thing. But anytime Bonnie's on screen, I'm like, oh gosh. My wife better not walk in right now.
I think it's funny how badly she wants how badly she wants Wayne, and Wayne doesn't even give her the time of day.
Bonnie.
Yeah.
She's so hot, dude. She's the hottest.
McMurray's a piece of shit.
All the women on that show, even the one in Shoresy that owns she owns the hockey team in Letterkenny. What's her name?
Which one are you talking about? Tanis?
Tanis. She's hot too.
Mm.
What's the Gail? Is it Gail, the weird one?
Yes.
She's on a show on the Roku. You can only watch it if you have Roku. It's on the Roku channel called Children Ruin Everything. And she's funny in that show too. And then she's also in the new M. Night Shyamalan movie that's coming out.
Yikes.
Yeah, with Dave Bautista and Ron from Harry Potter. I forget his name.
Yikes.
Knock in the Cabin, I think it's called.
The Ginger and Boots, man.
Okay,
Yes.
but if
Fuck
you
the
guys
pants
want
away.
a real palate cleanser, are you watching The
Fuck the
Handmaid's
pain
Tale?
away.
That's the
I do
haven't
not
started
watch
yet.
Handmaid's Tale. That is Aaron's show. I do not watch it. I think that show sucks.
It's such a good show. I've only seen the first 2 episodes of the new season. The third one I haven't watched yet, but I know Aaron likes it, so I wanted to mention it since she was seemingly in the chat. So if you're still here, Aaron,
She's
Handmaid's
raising
Tale,
her
I'm
hand.
with you. It's a great show.
I can't even right now. I need to pull up a picture of Bonnie McMurray. So fucking hot.
Oh man. Well,
Look
the
at this,
acting
dude.
in Handmaid's Tale is so good.
Maxie, tell me.
Smoke show.
She is
Yes,
so fucking hot.
Yeah, she's probably hotter than Katie. And Katie's
Katie's
really
hot though, dude. Yeah, Bonnie
Yep.
McMurray, man.
Yep. She's definitely she's hot.
Katie's hot though too, man. I don't care.
She is.
Jeez, Lance, do you need to go in the other room for a bit?
Dude, I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna start drooling. Such a fucking horn dog, dude. Oh man. Yeah. I don't give a shit. Bonnie McMurray's hot. I even showed a picture to Anna, and Anna's like, yeah, she's hot. So it's all right. All right. Well, that is the end of our show, I think, right?
Is that a podcast?
That's a podcast. This is Max's official exit as official co-host.
Yeah, it's been an honor. Been in the podcasting game for about 5 years now, and it's weird that it's coming to a close, but it's time. So thank you for letting me be on the show for the last year. It's been fun. It's been great getting to know you guys. I mean, I already knew Lance, but it's been great getting to know you a little bit more, Matt. And yeah.
Max, wait till you see episode 3 of what? Oh, Handmaid's Tale.
Oh yeah, I started it. I was about to watch it on Wednesday night because my wife was at work, and I'm like, well, she doesn't watch the show, so I'm like, let me watch this while she's gone.
She doesn't?
No, she doesn't.
Oh,
watch
interesting.
It's way too dark for her. She doesn't like dark stuff like that. But then I decided not to because I was when Kelsey's not home, that means I can blast the music on the TV really loud, and so I decided, I don't need to watch Handmaid's Tale. I can watch that in my office later. So I put on like an action movie really loud instead.
I gotta stop looking up this shit. Anna's gonna look at my search history. I'm gonna get in trouble.
Hurry.
Yeah, Anna's obsessed with that show, man. Handmaid's Tale, and
It's fantastic.
she wants to watch it. But we got into Why Women Kill on Paramount, and Alexander Daddario's in that show. She's so fucking hot, dude.
Yeah, she's definitely my weakness. But yeah, I think you were the one that got me to watch Handmaid's Tale, Lance. I think you were the one.
Yeah,
that
I was
convinced
begging
me
you
to.
for a while. Like you started watching like the middle of last season, right?
Yeah, I finished it, I think, the week before the last episode came out. So I binged the crap out of that over about a month. And honestly, dude, that show brought me to tears on multiple occasions. It is
Good show.
powerful. And yeah, it's so good. And then yeah, I caught up like right before the season 4 finale.
Yeah, it's a really good show. I like it. All right. Yep. I don't give a shit. She thinks I'm cute. She thinks I'm cute. So at least
Who, Bonnie
somebody does.
McMurray? How do you know?
Oh, I wish, dude. Oh man.
I don't know if she thinks you're cute or it's just by kid number 5, she just kind of accepted her fate.
She's locked in. I
Yeah.
locked her in. Now it's too expensive to go get a lawyer. Oh man.
She's like, man, if we get divorced, that means I'm gonna have the kids all by myself half the time. Fuck, I
Dude,
might as well just ride it out.
She leaves tomorrow morning to California. I gotta go till Tuesday with 5 kids by myself. I'm scared. Max is gonna come
sucks.
over and help me.
I could. Kelsey's going to be gone tomorrow night. Maybe I'll come over and hang out.
That'd be good.
Yeah, we'll talk about it after the show. We don't need to make our weekend plans live on the podcast.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll end the show. I want to thank everyone for hanging out in the chat tonight. Hartman, Zaggy, Patrick, Stick Boys, Eric, everyone who stopped in, left. Or my name is Kyle at his prom. Yeah. So everyone, thank you for Joe's Dueling. Double O, thank you so much for stopping in and spending your Friday nights with us. Thank you to Max for everything you've brought to the show. And the last year has been fun, and I wish you all the best in whatever you're gonna do next. And I'm sure you'll be great at it regardless. But yeah, that's like we said last week. Our search for a new host is going to be ongoing. So if you think you have what it takes to join the crew, or you want to try it out, hit us up on our socials, and we can hook that up. But yeah, so
Pretty sure Matt will let you
Can I-
join for a 50 spot.
Can I actually say one more thing before I forget?
Sure.
So I wanted to say, I also I thanked you, Matt, and I thanked Lance, but I really want to thank the people who tune in live every single week. You guys know that we did Couch Crunchers, Lance and I, before joining here, and we had people tune in live, and it was fun. But the audience at Absolute Geek is so much better than the audience we had at Couch Crunchers. And I've had people who I don't know in real life who have added me as a Facebook friend or Instagram or whatever. I've got other listeners who have reached out to me on Instagram messages to tell me about how they loved how excited I was about the Wheel of Time, so they went and read the whole series. And I still haven't finished the whole series, but I got someone so excited that they binged a whole book series over a month period, and I just love that. So I just love the passion of the fans here, and so it's not the last time you'll hear my voice. You'll just hear it a lot less. But thank you for listening. It's seriously been an honor.
Thank goodness. Hearing his voice a lot less. No, I'm just kidding. Buddy. I love you.
Love you too, buddy.
All right.
But yeah, so for the last time for Max, for a while anyway, that's it for this episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Lance.
And I'm Max.
And we'll see you guys next time.
All you freaks and geeks,
come all you freaks and geeks. Let's listen to Absolute Geek.
Absolute Geek.
We'll go ahead and spread our cheeks.
Spread the cheeks.
And drink
And
some
we're for
Cosby wine.
We'll
Come
drink
on,
some
Absolute
Cosby wine. It makes me feel real fine.